Good morning.
Good morning, sweetie.
Happy St. Jordi's.
Happy St. Jordi. Did you look well?
I do, thank you.
Yeah, have a nice rose for you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Because
Thank you
happy
very
St.
much.
Jordi's,
Oh, I have
Really?
something for you as well.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Happy St. Jordi's is about London.
It's a book about London.
Yeah. There you
Lovely.
go.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're lovely. You're lovely. Happy St. Jordi.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It's a lovely book.
Okay, let's have a drink.
Yes.
Happy St. Jordi's.
Happy St. Jordi, sweetie. Thank you very much.
Hello! Happy St. Jordi's Day or Happy St. George's Day. So I hope you enjoyed that clip. I wanted to tell you a little bit about St. George's Day. St. George, who was he? So, we don't know too much about him, his life or his deeds. It's not very well established. However, I did have a look into this. He flourished, was very popular. Flourished and popular is the same, more or less. He was around AD. AD means after the birth of Christ. 270, that's 270, which is basically into the 3rd century. And he died, they think, 303. Now, traditionally he holds that he was thought to be a high-ranking Roman soldier, and he was tortured and decapitated, meaning his head was taken off, under Diocletian's persecution of Christians. Now, Diocletian was the Roman emperor at the time, and he used to serve for Diocletian. But after protesting against his Roman leader and becoming a Christian himself, he was rather disliked by the emperor, but not by the other people, civilians. In fact, the wife of Diocletian was so inspired by George's bravery and loyalty to his religion that she also became a Christian herself, but was later executed for her faith by her own husband. So his bravery and loyalty and determination to rebel against Diocletian's persecution of the Christians was a warrior saint dating from the 6th century, and became more popular and increasingly extravagant. So from then on there became a legend. Now, we're not sure exactly where this legend is, because obviously it's a legend because there's no such thing as a dragon, I'm afraid. I'm sorry to disappoint you. However, what I did find out was the legend of St. George slaying a dragon may have been a Christian version of the legend of Perseus in Greek mythology. And he was said to have rescued Andromeda from a sea monster near Lydda in Turkey. Now, it is a theme much represented in art, and the saint frequently being depicted as a youth wearing knight's armour with a scarlet cross, to be recognised as a strong martyr. Martyr? What does that mean? Martyr means to be a high-ranking, very respected person that is recognised for his bravery, loyalty and determination. Okay, so George was known in England by the time it was the 8th century. Now, this is due mainly from the First Crusade, which was around 1097 to 1098. What was the Crusade, you ask? Well, primarily the Crusade was basically to try to get the Christians to overtake the Muslim-held Holy Land, where Jerusalem was, where Jesus was put to death and he rose from the dead. And it was held by Muslims and ruled by Muslims, and the Christians felt that they wanted to take over, and this was the First Crusade, which happened in 1097, as I said, to 1098. And basically returning crusaders from that time, this was one of the first crusaders out of 9 crusades to try to do exactly the same thing. It was later that the crusaders returning popularized like a St. George type of cult. Now, he was said to have been seen helping people at the Battle of the Antioch, which was in 1098. But he was probably not recognized as England's patron saint until after King Edward III. Now, King Edward III reigned in England in 1327 to year 1377, and King Edward III reigned the patron of the newly founded most noble order of the Garter, and then later the patron saint of England. Now, he was also adopted as a protector of several other medieval powers, including Portugal, Genoa, Venice, Aragon and Catalunya. He's also the patron saint of scouts. Now, the 23rd of April was made an English national holiday to remember the day of his supposed death in AD 303, and well into the 4th century. So with the passing of the chivalric age, he was the patron saint of chivalry. And finally, Protestant Reformation, the cult of St. George then dwindled. And more so in the 18th century, when Scotland joined England to be united. So his feast is given a less of a status on the calendar of the Church of England. In England in general, unfortunately, a holy day of obligation for English until the late 18th century. It was recognised up until the 18th century, but is now an optional memorial for local observance. So today it's a normal working day. However, the flag of the Red Cross is used in the Union Jack, as we all know. It is also used in English sport in the rugby union, alongside the shield with the 3 lions, originally recognised by Richard the Lionheart. Now, it's also said that on the 23rd of April or 22nd of April, William Shakespeare passed away, obviously many years ago in the 16th century, I think. And also it was made recognised in 1995 to be the World Book Day. So unfortunately we don't have a national bank holiday in England. It's not actually fully recognised by all Englishmen. However, I actually think it's really nice that St. Jordi on the 23rd in Catalunya is still recognised, and the legend that St. George gave the princess a red rose, ladies giving a book to their partners, is also a lovely gesture. In fact, I just wish we also did this in England. Anyway, I've also made a quiz on Kahoot. Here is the link here. And also I've made a crossword. Try to have a go at the quiz. It's quite challenging. It's also taken from this video. All the things that I mentioned are in the crossword and some things in the Kahoot. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we actually hope to celebrate St. Jordi's in Catalunya on the 23rd of July this year. So there'll be red roses and books in the summer. So it'll be lovely. Happy St Jordi's Day, and be safe and stay at home. Bye for now.